All right. Hey, welcome back to the Buddy Show. We are prime time, coast to coast, border to border, and coming to you from beautiful Cebu City in the island of Cebu in Republic, I think, of Philippines. Um, this this video was a request, but it was one I was going to do anyway because my last one was, as I had told to my friend Sam, was 5:30 in the morning. Was a little hungover, so. I don't think it was disparaging to the Philippines, but it gave my honest opinion about my short experience being here. And it is only, remember, this is only my opinion, and it is based on very little information. All my videos are, all my opinions are based on limited information because I only talk about where I am and my experience. Where you go, your experience may be entirely different. Obviously, a lot of people's are. So I live in IT Park, which is a fairly, I don't know, prestigious, but affluent maybe area of Cebu City. Lots of foreigners here. Older foreigners mostly, not so many young backpackers as I had in Chiang Mai, and I like that. There is right around the corner here, there is an area that's very local, and I go to eat there a lot. That's where the carenderias are, and that is those are local mom and pop restaurants with steam tables and sitting in the back. And I asked one of the women there, and she said there are other foreigners that go. I've never seen any, but that's fine. So I'm going to back up a little bit because I don't know how many of you, I had a couple of new subscribers, and I don't know how many of my former videos you might have seen, and I do apologize for those of you who have been around a while. My buddy Wayne, for instance, he knows all these stories. ¿Cómo está, amigo? So when I turned 62, my daughter told me that her mother, my ex-wife, retired, which was not something that I really gave any consideration. I mean, I seriously never even thought about it. I had a job that I liked until I left it and went to Wisconsin and then worked in a call center, which I was good at until I got a promotion, and I sucked at that. So it gave me pause to think that what is retirement? So I wanted to work online. I wanted to write, which I do, fiction, mysteries mostly now, and I wanted to get back into online marketing, particularly make money online niche, which for some of you who've been around a while, you may remember that I used to do a thing called Make Money Monday. I just didn't have time for it, and now I do, so I'm going to get back into it. It won't be on this channel. I have another channel that I will dedicate to that, and it's going to be all about how to, get a side hustle or replace your full-time income making money online. But anyway, this is not about that. This is about the differences, my experiences with the difference between living in Thailand and living here in the Philippines. And admittedly, my experience here is very, very limited. I kind of didn't like it from the get-go, and it's fine. I know my friend Paul in the Philippines, Old Dogs, New Tricks. I highly recommend his channel. He's great. Also my friend Gio in the Philippines. Please watch, if you don't already, both of their channels. My new friend Mike's retirement in the Philippines, and what's Sam's called? Sorry, Sam, I can't remember the name of your channel. Put it in the comments below. Sam's got a good channel too with his girlfriend Razel, and Mike with his new wife Janet. Gio and Maya and Paul and May, both very good friends who I hope I get a chance to meet, but I don't know because I'm leaving soon. The differences between living in the Philippines and living in Thailand are great. They're huge. One of the issues I have living here in the Philippines, and again, you go to Iloilo or Cagayan de Oro or Bohol or Siquijor or Manila, maybe you're going to have completely different experiences. Maybe if I was going to move over to Dumaguete, where a lot of my friends live, maybe I'd have a different experience, but I didn't, and I miss Thailand. I know Paul, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, his first place that he went to was Thailand, and that might be daunting if you've never lived in a country that people don't speak English. I was fortunate; it is my first foray out of the United States was in Guadalajara, Mexico. And so, Spanish-speaking people, and I don't speak Spanish. I learned how to order a beer, ask a woman her name, and ask a bartender, ¿Dónde está el baño? Where's the bathroom? And that was fine. That was fine. I never really had any problems in any of the countries I've lived with English not being the prevalent language, to be honest with you. Here, it's been sold to me, and I'm sorry to use that terminology, but as a country that speaks English. And that is to a degree true, but most of the English spoken well is by college-educated people, or somebody, maybe they've traveled abroad. English is much less understood by, for instance, people who stock shelves in the supermarket, or anything like that in the malls. I went to look for pillows the other day and I asked the guy in Mr. DIY, where are the pillows? No stock, sir. I know any of you who have listened to Philippines vloggers heard that before. No, we're out of stock. I knew there were pillows, but that was his initial answer, is no stock. And I know there's stock because I saw them, I just didn't remember where they were. And I said, I think there are. And so he went out back and asked someone who did know about their stock, and he showed it to me. So that's very frustrating. Going to the Metro supermarket, asking for something like, I'm looking for olives because I wanted to make a dirty martini. Olive oil? No, olives. And had to ask a couple of different people. Finally asked the shift supervisor, and they found olives for me. Same when I went for baking soda, which I used to brush my teeth. Nope, don't have it. And then we finally found it. But the initial answer is no, rather than yes. And I haven't experienced that in Mexico, where I lived twice, or in Bali, Indonesia, where I lived once. Or certainly not in Thailand. Thailand is much more efficient. The Philippines reminds me a great deal of Mexico. That was my impression right from the beginning in Lapu-Lapu. It is still here. And it just doesn't really remind me of Asia. And that's why I'm in Southeast Asia, is to be in an Asian environment. If I wanted to be in a Mexican environment, I'd go back to Mexico, where frankly the food is better. Now, that said, they do have decent food here. It doesn't suck to me as much as I might have said. And in fact, when I am most comfortable is not in the malls or not in the supermarket, but actually going down the street and eating in the local carinderia restaurants, where they know me now, and they give me free soup, and they're really nice people, and there's no difficulty in understanding because no one is putting on airs, myself included. I'm just a guy. So not being as Asian, which is funny, I guess, for a white boy to say, as I want, is one big factor, particularly after living in Thailand for a year where everything was cool and weird. Religion. So, as you probably know, Filipinos are Roman Catholic, which in my mind is a religion of conquest throughout history. No offense to the Catholics, you believe whatever you like. It's none of my business. But Thailand is Buddhist, and Bali is a Hindu nation in the midst of a Muslim nation. So Bali is Hindu. Very, very different religions than Christianity. Very different backgrounds. I get a feeling when I'm here, there's almost, I know many of you have never felt this, I imagine, at least going by the vloggers that I watch. There is a colonialistic feeling. Now, perhaps that's because I live in a large high-rise that doubles as Airbnb, so there's a lot of transient population here. People coming for a week or a day or whatever and then leaving. A lot of people in the lobby with luggage. So, and I'm not criticizing the people who work here. I get kind of tired of that stuff too. But I don't get the feeling of friendliness, instant friendliness here or in the malls. I do down the street. I do down the street because it's local people. But that aspect of Buddhism, particularly in Thailand, plays a great role. Buddhists and Hindus have a very, very strong belief in karma. So I never, ever got cheated in Thailand. Never got cheated in Bali. I've never been cheated here, to be honest with you. But I've been warned, even by local people, be careful where you go, and taxis, make certain they put the meter on. Now, taxis I've never had a problem with. They're cheaper than Grab. I've had a good experience in all the taxis. I'm just telling you what I was told. My experience doesn't necessarily bear that out. Subject 3 is hot water shaves. Now, I experienced this in Guadalajara and in Sanur, Bali as well. There's hot water in the shower. There is no hot water in the sink for washing your dishes, which to me is problematic. Hot water really helps get rid of grease, cut the grease, or to shave in the bathroom. I don't shave in the shower. I have, but I'm not going to. So I cold water shave. You see, I shaved. Last time you saw me, did I shave for the first video? I can't remember. But I shaved and growing the goatee back, probably full beard at some point. But I do like hot water in the sink in the bathroom for a shave, and I did have that in Chiang Mai. So if you don't know, I lived in Chiang Mai City in the Chiang Mai province in northern Thailand, and I have a great deal of affection for Chiang Mai. It's a little too liberal for me. There are far too many young foreigner backpackers. My next iteration of this blog will be from Jomtien Beach in Pattaya. Pattaya, if you've heard of it for any reason, it's going to be probably because it's the sexpat capital of Thailand. I'm not going there for that. There's sex areas everywhere. There was in Guadalajara. There was in San Luis Potosi. There was in Chiang Mai, which is Loi Kro Road if you live there. But that's not why I'm going. I'm going because the rents are much cheaper. My rent here is 19,000 pesos, which is today about $335, $40 for a 23 square room condo with a nice view, no balcony, but it's small. I don't watch television from my bed, except if I'm sitting on the bed. So I want another place with a couch or a love seat or something like that. I was renting a 50 square meter, one bedroom condo with a good sized balcony overlooking a schoolyard in Chiang Mai. Now I know that my friend Will, who asked about it, the landlady is upping that rent to 15,000. So by 50%, 30%. Anyway, I'm not a math guy, and she'll never get it because it just wasn't worth it, in my opinion. But this would cost me. We'll go into baht. So this would be. I was paying 10,000 baht, which is probably 16,000 Filipino pesos here. So I could get the same thing for a lot less there, or I could get something bigger for 10,000 baht, which now I think it's about $280. This is $335, $340. So much more for much less. That's an issue. What else? I'm just trying to keep on this subject first. I think that's it. Food is more expensive here. Everything is a little more expensive here. And if you're living in the West, if you're living in the United States or Canada or Australia or Europe or Great Britain, you can't touch living in Southeast Asia anywhere. All of the prices are relatively inexpensive. Thailand, for me, is just much less expensive. And as I talked to a visa agent, I can get a retirement visa for the equivalent of $800-900, and then to renew it is just over $300. So after the initial investment of the first year's retirement visa, it's actually cheaper than here in Philippines, which was one of the reasons why I came, because you can as an American tourist, I'm sure it's for most Westerners, but I don't know that, so I don't want to state it. But it's about $450 a year to keep renewing your visa, and you can stay for 3 years, which is that's pretty big. That's pretty huge. But I think even paying $900-1,000 for the initial visa, I will more than make up that with rent and food. Food is rent, as you see. I mean, my buddy Will, hey Will, Will just got a place, pretty sizable place, for, I can't remember, what was it, 7,000 baht, which is $190 or something. I didn't, not doing the conversions, but it's really, really inexpensive in a pretty good area. I think he's in a more Thai area than he was. Yeah, rent is a lot cheaper. Rent, I mean, Will fell into a pretty good deal. It's month to month as far as I know. Probably me going to Jomtien, it's not going to be that. I'm probably going to have to sign another year lease again. I don't mind. After this bit of moving, I don't really want to do it. Again, I'm going to have to get a multi-entry visa going back to Thailand, because my daughter at some point said she wants to bring me back to the U.S. for a visit. Thank you very much, Emma and Max. You're wonderful people anyway, but thank you for that. Otherwise, I would get a single entry visa for the first year. Later, I would probably want to go back to Vietnam, go to Kuala Lumpur, Penang, maybe Hong Kong, probably not Taiwan, given the effects of the future. But places like that, I want to visit other countries. I thought my home base would be here in the Philippines, but I think it's going to be in southern Thailand. I want to live back by the ocean. For any of you who know me, you know I grew up in Middleborough and worked for 20 years in Plymouth. So I'm used to being by the ocean and having fresh seafood. I want that again. Now, I'm fairly close to the ocean here. I've not seen it because I have too much to do in the month I'm going to be here. Let's see, gravy. Oh yeah, okay. So I told the no stock story. So Asia, Philippines, frankly, is not Asian enough for me. Religion, Catholicism, Roman Catholicism versus Buddhism in this case. Hot water shaves. Food. Again, the food doesn't suck, as I may have intimated or stated outright in my hungover morning video, but it's by no means great. I do eat at the curanderias because they're inexpensive and the people are nice there. Limited spicing and limited offerings. I think what I would say chiefly, I would describe Filipino food as too sweet, too salty, and too greasy. That just simply wasn't the case in Thailand. I mean, it was in some places, but I mean, I could stop by a local restaurant, again, where I'm the only foreigner. I mean, one guy told me ever, and I could buy wonton soup noodles for 40 baht. I could buy pad krapao for 40 baht. I could buy, pad thai for 40 baht, which equates about to $1.50, less than $1.50, and I was full. So the cuisine, I mean, people know that Thai cuisine is world class. It's one of the more prestigious cuisines in the world. Philippines is not. There's a lot of complaints I've heard from expats about Filipino food, and many of them simply won't eat it. They eat Western food, and I've eaten far more Western food here than I have anywhere else I've lived. I normally don't eat Western food. McDonald's is right down the street. That food, let's face it, it sucks. It's processed bullshit crap. And I prefer to digest my own food, thank you. I was there this morning getting a breakfast sandwich. This is another indication of, for me, the weirdness of the people. And there was a pump dispenser. I said, "What's in the pump dispenser?" And he said, "Gravy." Okay, gravy. I said, "Interesting. Could I have a little gravy with my breakfast sandwich?" And the woman is flummoxed. Gravy? And she brought me over a tube of jam, which I wouldn't put on an egg sandwich anyway. But I said, no, gravy. And I tried to explain to her about, our famous southern dish, biscuits and gravy. I mean, you can get it anywhere in the States, but certainly if you live down south at all, you know what a delightful dish that is. And I tried to explain it to her, and and ultimately she went to the manager. And, I see them talking about me and looking at me, and, finally she goes over and gives me the little free thing of gravy. And my thought was, I don't mind explaining this to you, but just give me the gravy and we don't have to go through any of this. I know what I want. I'm the customer. No stock. Oh yeah, so no stock. I told that story. Yeah, and so I had expectations, and I know this is stupid of me, of English being universally understood and spoken, and it's simply not. And I live in a fairly cosmopolitan area. A lot of phone centers here, call centers here. So I'm trying to think. I can't think of much of anything else. I'm certainly open to your questions. I would really like to have your questions, that I could answer them, because inevitably I'm only, again, going by my experience. I don't know what your experience or expectations might be. I can tell you, particularly in retrospect, but there was no point when I was living in Chiang Mai that I wanted to leave Thailand. I wanted to maybe leave Chiang Mai to be around the ocean again, even though I love the city, have nothing but high praise for the city. But I didn't want to leave Thailand, but I wanted to come to the Philippines because it was my first destination of choice, having watched Paul and Gio and others. And so I was really determined, and couldn't get here for 3 years. So once I could, I was determined to come here. And maybe I'm disappointed. Maybe my affection for Thailand is stronger than my alleged disappointment for here. Because if I go to Dumaguete, if I go to Iloilo, if I go to CGO or Darwin or wherever, my experience is probably going to be a lot different. Certainly, going to Dumaguete, my rent will be cheaper because this is a big city and Dumaguete is a small city. But I will still miss the aspects of Thailand that I have just mentioned. And so I will be leaving here, I believe, still in flux about this, but on the 10th of October, and fly to Bangkok, stay the night because I won't arrive until 7:30, and then go to Pattaya. And then Pattaya is there's a thing called the Baht bus, which is for 10 baht you can take this bus, which is what do they call it? Like a tuk-tuk? No, like a tuk-tuk. It's Songkham in Chiang Mai. Songkham. And it's a bus. It's an open air bus. And for 10 baht, which is, again, 30 cents, I can go from Pattaya to Jomtien Beach, or anywhere along that line. And so if I want to go to, Party Central and go to a happy hour and chat up bar girls, and not paying them for sex, then it's a very easy trip to Pattaya, and a greater variety of restaurants and things like that. Also more expensive. I can go to a bar in Jomtien. I don't really go to bars, but every now and then I want to go out and have English conversations with other expats and enjoy a couple of beers and then go back home and watch Netflix or whatever. I think that's it. Once again, I would be very pleased if you would subscribe to my channel. I think I'm up to 400 subscribers now, which is, I'd like to get up to 1,000 and 4,000 watch hours. I'm not going to make a ton of money on it. Once I finish this book, which I'm 2/3 of the way through, and in the middle of the fourth one, I will publish the first 3 30 days apart on Amazon with help from my mentor Pam, who is a 7-figure author. And also, once I start going more into affiliate marketing and email marketing in particular, I have once Facebook allows me to go back to using groups because I pissed them off because I'm over target, then I will restart up my Facebook group, Email Marketing Plus. I think that email marketing using affiliate marketing, and I will explain all this on my Facebook page, is the fastest and easiest way to make money online. And you can do this with any niche or any subject that you're interested in. I mean, like fly fishing or something like that, or whatever it is you're interested in. Rock gardens, I don't know. There's an audience out there and you can make money. So anyway, look for that. Make Money Mondays will go to Email Marketing Plus on my Facebook, and to a YouTube channel. I have it now, I can't remember the name, but I will do that. And until then, it's September, and so where you live, probably you will soon be able to, without any trouble, stay frosty.